right. Welcome back. Welcome back. As we just wrapped up the Whissel Weekend show, we just roll into our last segment, the Whissel Way. And you know what? That was just the Whissel Way right there.
It really was.
We had a local company, Cali Life Company, just in here with us. They've been to San Diego. Nina's been here 10 years, about 5 years, it sounded like, for Raphael. They started their business about 5 years ago. And what an amazing story. They make wooden sunglasses, and they would not leave without everybody here. Todd, Tom, Jeremy, me, we all got a pair. And these are anywhere from $50 to $200, but you can go and get 45% off WEB45. He's happy, got his on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jeremy, for bringing them in.
For sure.
And that really is the Whissel Way. I mean, you guys are everywhere. So you guys do real estate all over the county. But your big office, I would say now, is probably the Santee office. We've had the North Park office for years. But the Santee office, and that's where you met this young couple.
Yeah.
They were looking in the window, waiting to go to the omelet factory next door. And you just approached and said, hey, can I help you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You guys have any questions?
Yeah. And it's just stepping out. And what made you think to do that? I mean, I know it's probably a lot of the training that Kyle and Mike provide, but you're also just normally just an outgoing guy.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why you get into sales, right? You're comfortable talking to people. If you're like a super introvert that doesn't like people, you probably don't want to go into sales. But yeah, I just walked out. Can I ask you guys any questions? I wasn't trying to necessarily sell them, but if they're looking, they probably have a question, you know? And a lot of people have that reflexive no and they leave, but some people have genuine questions and a lot of misconceptions when it comes to real estate. And if you can provide a little bit of value, that's always a good way to go.
Right. Do you remember the question that they had?
Trying to think. So they were looking, basically what they said was like, we're renting. We know we can afford to buy, and then I love it when people tell me things that I tell other people all the time and they say it to me and I'm like, thank you. And so I remember they told me, we're paying our landlord's rent and we're paying our landlord's mortgage. Like, why would we not pay our own? And I was like, yes, I tell that to people all the time. I can relate to that sentiment. That's why I bought a house.
Well, as entrepreneurs, they definitely think a little differently, I think, than the
100%.
average person. And so that's probably why they already knew that answer.
Exactly.
And that was a good question, a good answer for you. And that just kind of opened up the dialect where you guys were able to bond, build a relationship. You've been showing them different homes, getting everything done for them. And thank you so much for bringing them in.
Yeah.
So the Whissel Way. So that was just a great example of what the Whissel team does differently than most people, is literally bringing on clients onto the radio show.
Jab, right hook, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, amazing. And look, we've been doing the show 5 years. I've gotten some donuts, but I've never gotten anything else, I think, but donuts, right, Todd? I think that's about the only thing I can think of. Tom remembers. He was laughing at me. It wasn't that long ago. We had some amazing donuts. But this is definitely, I can't, this is by far the best gift I've ever gotten on the radio show in 5 years doing this.
Nice.
So definitely the Whissel Way. Go ahead, Todd.
Very unique. And did you notice on the side of the sunglasses, lasered in is a little bear?
Yeah, we talked about that. Did you listen to the show, producer Todd?
Yes, I was just for people tuning in now to the podcast.
I'm teasing.
And also on the side of the one they gave me, it has like a little bit of like the Aztec calendar.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah, mine has that too. It's pretty cool.
That is total cools for us that are big San Diego State Aztec fans, right? And to see Toronto, I don't want to go too crazy, but Norman Powell, I coached Norman Powell, who plays the Toronto Raptors since he was 7 years old. Not in basketball, but I coached him in track. Then it went on to soccer and went on to baseball, football, and then he picked basketball. I think he picked the right sport.
There's two guys from San Diego State on the Raptors right now?
Well, Norman actually played at UCLA, but he went to Lincoln, but he is a San Diego native, and it's cool to kind of have that San Diego contact that Kawhi Leonard from the Aztecs, Norman Powell, both play for Toronto Raptors. Norman is usually the first or second one off the bench, gets quite a bit of playing time, amazing defender, and it's just nice to see that. So, again, making those San Diego connections. So,
and I got to throw this in there. I showed a house on Monday to a buddy of mine who's looking in Santee also, And I pulled up, and he has a Cali Life Company shirt on. I forgot to tell them that. It was awesome. I need to take a picture of him with it.
You need to take a picture. You
Yeah.
have the Cali Life shirt on.
Yeah.
All right. So what's going on in Santee? You wanted to kind of talk about the Santee market.
It's on fire. Super low inventory. I did a video, and it's on Facebook and with the Whissel Realty Group after the March numbers came out, talking about how we saw this crazy drop in inventory. We saw a bunch of homes go into escrow, and we saw not a lot of homes come on the market. So it's shifting into that seller's market. At that point, I think we're at 1.8 months of supply of inventory, which, you know that jargon. That's a crazy seller's market.
That's a low inventory. That means the demand will be eat up every supply in 1.8 months, right? So we can't keep homes on the market. So if you're thinking about selling, if you're a realtor, some of the best way right now is just to go knock on doors and say, hey, did you see the home sold for, 500 and 550, 580, 600, whatever the price is? Have you thought about selling your home? And that's something that Mike and Kyle have coached a lot of us on, is just how to just go out and meet your neighbors, right? And just kind of, start to do what we consider farming, knowing the neighbors, let them know, hey, we've got an open house. Prices are crazy right now. Have you ever thought about selling? And if you sold, where would you want to go? And as you mentioned, Santee's on fire, but all of San Diego's on fire. And as I told Mike yesterday in our meeting, all, high tide raises all boats.
It's true.
Right? And we're definitely in that buying season right now. So what are some tips for those listening to the show, to the podcast, as a agent that's newer to the team the last couple of years, but you're a San Diego native? What are some tips you've learned to make your offer stand out when there's 3 to 10 offers on every good listing right now?
I mean, communication's key for everything, right? So if you're submitting an offer and you're not calling that listing agent, you're doing your buyer a disservice. How do you know what they want if you're not asking? I mean, the only person who knows what they're looking for is going to be the one selling the house. So ask the questions and establish that relationship.
Yeah. And you know what? It seems so simple. And I know buyers right now are like, I'm sure my agent's communicating, but take it from, the Whissel team and Kyle Whissel, my really good friend who sells more homes as a team than anybody else. They do more transactions than anybody 5 years in a row. Here's the deal, guys. Most of the agents just submit the offer, usually don't even text Kyle, don't even email him, don't even follow the basic instructions that Kyle's listed in the MLS. And like you're saying, Jeremy, to be amongst the best agents, all you have to do is just communicate, actually follow instructions, and do what you should do automatically, but also really to help your buyer get to the top. And that's communicating directly to the listing agent representing the seller. Hey, does your clients want to move fast? Do they want to slow escrow? Do they want to rent back? What can we do to help you guys achieve the goal of selling your home? And that's what a good buyer's agent like you, that's what you do. Right?
Yeah.
And you're, I'm the talker right here. But the good news is you're very similar to Kyle in that you guys are really good active listeners. You're always listening to your client. You're going, okay, I can do that. Without saying you could do it, you're listening, and then you kind of get back. So how did that happen? Did you get trained to do that? Was that a natural thing for you, Jeremy?
Becoming good at active listening?
Yeah.
It definitely comes from training with Kyle, for sure. Learning that people everybody wants to feel like people care about them, right? I don't care. People can pretend they don't care, but everybody wants people to care about them and wants to feel like they're accepted.
Yeah, you want to feel special.
Yeah.
And you want to feel wanted, right? And you want to make sure that people care.
And if somebody can't even take the time, if somebody can't even listen to you, then it tells you that they probably don't care about you. You're not accepted, And so the simple thing of listening goes a really long way, and then telling people, like, I understand where you're coming from. I can empathize with you. It puts people in a much more safe, comfortable place.
It makes them at ease.
Yeah.
No, great point. I mean, I can tell you've been married 29 years. I'm still learning to listen.
Right.
Be better. And that's the one tip I can tell you. Congrats on 2 years in
Thank
the
you.
real estate business, 2 years married to your lovely wife. And yeah, continue to be a great active listener. That's definitely a skill that I've seen from you in the couple years we've known each other. I can't believe it's already been 2 years. But anything else that you want to hit on as we wrap up the show here the last few minutes?
What do you want me to talk about?
Well, I mean, you mentioned, Santee,
Oh, that's what I was gonna say too. So I did that video, right? 1.8 months of inventory.
Okay.
Market's heating up. I'm telling people, numbers come out for last month, 1.0 months supply of inventory. We will sell out in the next month with the buyers that are in the market. If no other listings come on the market in Santee, we will run out of houses in a month.
Wow.
That's crazy to think about.
Very crazy.
That's a crazy market. So if you're thinking about selling, I mean, what more? It doesn't get much crazier than that. It doesn't get much more of a seller's market than that.
If you're priced well, it's going to sell fast.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's going to usually sell above asking unless you just, shoot for some 50, 100 grand over what it's probably worth. And rates are near all-time lows again, at least in last year.
Yeah.
We're seeing rates back. We're seeing some rates down in the threes again.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing time to buy, amazing time to sell.
Yeah.
And you love Santee. You live in Santee?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm a Santee homeowner.
Santee homeowner in Santee.
Yeah.
And killing it on the Whissel team. That's Jeremy, the man. We can find you at jeremy@whistlerealty.com.
That's my email. Jeremy.whistlerealty.com is the website. Yeah.
Nice. .whissel.com. Well, it has been great having you in. Again, we had in Jeremy's clients, Cali Life Company, co.com. Wood. I can't even think right now.
Wood frame sunglasses.
Wood frame sunglasses.
Yeah.
Todd's laughing at me because they gave us 4 free pair. But
was
here's
so
the tip
cool.
for you. Go to their site, put in the promo code WEB45. You will get 45% off. That's good.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the show, WEB45, CaliLifeCompany.com. Coolest sunglasses you will ever see. And it'll definitely make a fashion thing. Also, Mom, happy Mother's Day. Remember, tomorrow's Mother's Day, everybody. This is Whissel. We're out.